The first month of school is typically the honeymoon period of the school year, but more and more increasingly, unwanted student behaviors are showing up in the first month, disrupting the flow of the classroom, creating major challenges for teachers. So instead of waiting for misbehaviors to show up and trying to address it in the moment, why not plan for those behaviors and set yourself up for success? So in today's video, I am sharing 4 types of behaviors that you need to plan for in the first month of school. Stay tuned. Hey, teacher friends, I'm Michelle Holliday, a behavior strategist, and I help teachers with strategies and tips to help them manage their classrooms and students with less stress and less struggle. In today's video, we're talking about 4 types of behaviors that you need to plan for in the first month of school. Behavior type number 1 is disruptive behavior. So these are the behaviors like calling out, talking, noise making, anything to disrupt the flow of teaching that will cause you to stop teaching and address that behavior. So here's what you can do. Ask yourself, how will I respond to these behaviors? And when I do respond, what if the behavior continues to happen? So generally for me, the first 2 strategies I like to use are verbal redirection and change of seats. Verbal redirection is me telling the student what I want them to do instead. So I don't focus on the behavior that is disrupting the class in the moment. I really focus on what can they do instead, and that's what I tell them to do. Also, I like to do change of seat because sometimes moving them from the area that they are in the seat that they are in, and changing that environment will actually change or stop the behavior, at least for the moment. Behavior type number 2, disrespect. So disrespect looks like talking back, profanity, name calling, anything that attempts to devalue you or your students is a form of disrespect. One strategy I do is I review what respectful behavior looks like and sounds like in my classroom, because I understand that not everyone has the same perspective when it comes to disrespect. So it could be possibly that your student is being disrespectful and not even realizing that. So it's important to review, talk about what they can do to be respectful in your classroom. At least this way you are all on the same page. Behavior type number 3 is defiance. So defiance is when a student is willfully not doing what you have told them to do. So usually it looks like, no, I'm not doing it. No, I'm not going to work. No, I won't move. No, I'm not going to pick up my pencil. It is intentionally not doing something. So with defiant behavior, this is where your power struggle traps might be waiting. So for example, the student saying, no, I won't. You're saying, yes, you will. And then this is where that power struggle begins. And you want to avoid that at all costs. Number 1, because you are the person in power, regardless of how the student responds. And also, when you're doing something like this verbally, especially in front of the class, you may lose face and you might lose that battle, at least in that moment. Here's my tip. Be consistent with the classroom management system that you have set up. And instead of asking, how can I make the student do what needs to be done? I want you to think, how can I motivate the student to do what needs to be done? Very different perspectives. Make versus motivate. And our final behavior type is disengagement. So this is when the student is not engaged in the lesson or the activities that are happening in the classroom. So this looks like students who don't want to get involved, who don't want to participate. They give little to no effort in what is happening in the classroom. When dealing with disengaged students, try to find out the why. Consider, is this a skill level? Is this about academically level? Is it that they're not interested or they're focused on something else? Where is learning a priority in that student's life? I plan for what can I do to get the student interested in the assignment. So that might look like me pairing something that they prefer with something they don't prefer. It may be mixing up the academic assignment a little bit to give them more interest. It may look like changing something they do in writing to something they do digitally. I may use, instead of book work, a project, something just to get them engaged. And the more the student is engaged and they find success or they experience success, the more momentum they will get with doing more work in the future. So let's recap. 4 behavior types to plan out for the first month of school. Number 1, disruptive behaviors. Number 2, disrespectful behaviors. Number 3, defiant behaviors. Number 4, disengaged behaviors. Remember, we don't wait for it, we plan for it. Now, if you're looking for specific strategies and tools to address the behaviors, you can take one of my on-demand workshops. It's on my website. I'll leave the link in the description below. Check them out. They're full of tools and strategies that you can use in your classroom today. That's it for today's video. I will see you next time.